Welcome to yoga. We're going to start today seated. So find a comfortable seat. It can be, I'm going to be sitting on like a little cushion. You can raise your hips up on a block or sit in a chair. So find a comfortable seat this time for our centering and start to practice. It can feel nice to, you want to try to have your knees a little below your hips. But anyway, just so you're comfortable. Doesn't have to be cross-legged, whatever way you can be for a few minutes with a tall spine. Lengthen up gently. And close your eyes. And just take about a minute to bring your awareness inside. Do a quick but mindful scan of your internal landscape. So, body, emotions, mind, mental activity. So as we talked about last week, this is setting your baseline, starting where you are. Without judgment, just accepting things just as they are right now on your mat. And now bring your awareness to your breath, just your natural breath. Again, you're establishing your baseline, starting right where you are with your breathing, your natural breathing, not changing it or controlling it in any way. And on your next inhale, continue to breathe just naturally, normally, not changing it, and count your breaths. I'll tell you when to stop counting. Okay, next exhale, continue to breathe, but stop counting. So just remember that number in your head. That was 1 minute, about 1 minute of just your natural breathing. And there's no right, there's no wrong, there's no goal to achieve. So that, again, you're just establishing your breaths per minute, breathing naturally, not controlling your breath. Now we're going to do pranayama, Brahmari breath. I think that's how you pronounce it. The English word for phrase for that is bee breath. So this is a breath which stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, gets you out of the stress response, calms everything down. So we're going to do like a little experiment here with the bee breath. And we're going to count how many breaths you take during a minute. And I'll do the counting. I'll tell you when to start. But first, let's practice the B breath. So you're going to be inhaling and exhaling through your nose. So we'll just do a couple practice rounds. Inhale through your nose. Have your teeth a little bit apart, lips just lightly together. So your jaw's relaxed. Inhale through your nose, and then as you exhale through your nose, make a humming sound so there's a little vibration between your lips. So try that. Inhale through nose, exhale, hum. So the exhale is going to continue all the way, not forceful, just all the way till you don't have any more breath to exhale. Okay, so just try a couple times practice. Inhale through your nose, exhale, hum. You'll feel your belly pull in, emptying all the air out until you can no longer make the hum sound. Okay? All right, so we're going to start at the same time and count each breath just as we did before. Okay? Inhale, go. And at the end of your next long exhale, let go of the pranayama. Notice what your count was. Just keep track. This isn't a contest. So the B breath kind of sends a nice vibration up and down your spine. You can feel it between your lips. It extends the exhale, which is a tool for engaging the parasympathetic nervous system for calming everything down. Kind of similar to the Ujjayi breath, where you narrow your glottis and it helps you to hear the breath, but it's in a different place with your lips, and it's more extending the exhale till you can't make the hum sound anymore. Anyway, just a tool. Okay, now take a moment to create an intention for your practice, a positive affirmation, something you want to take away from your practice today, to work toward in your practice. And just repeat that a few times in your mind, seal it into your heart space. It's there to revisit as we practice. And we are going to begin practice today on our backs. So remove any props from your mat. Come over onto your back. I'm sorry, I forgot to say. You will need a block and a strap or tie for the practice. So if you need to pause and go get those things and come back, go ahead and do that. And then come over onto your backs and stretch out long on the mat. Go here, my feet are getting cut off. Stretch out long in the mat. Inhale, bring your arms up. Oh God. Bring your arms up overhead. Stretch out long through your fingertips, through your feet, and on your next exhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Squeeze it in. Keep breathing. Squeeze that knee in. Option 2, when you come to an exhale, to pull your belly in, lift your head, your chest, nose toward your knee. Now take your strap and put it around the ball of your right foot and raise that foot up toward the ceiling. Taking one end of the strap in each hand, press up, gentle pressure down on the ball of your foot as you press your leg, lengthen your leg up toward the ceiling. Lengthen out through your left foot as well, both feet active. Couple breaths here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, perhaps the leg comes a little closer to your chest. Now take both edges of the strap in your right hand and let your right leg move off toward the right. As far as it will go. Mine's hitting the wall here, so it's not going much further, but let it go as far as it goes. Keep the pressure on the strap, so just stretching your adductors. We're going to be working with the adductors today, the muscles that bring your leg toward the midline of your body. Stretching the adductors here with support, so you can think about relaxing, releasing on the exhale. And inhale, bring the leg back up, switch the straps to your left hand, and this time we will cross the midline, so move your leg across the middle of your body. It will not go as far as it did on the other side. You want to keep your right hip on the mat, shoulders on the mat. Now the adductors are contracting and you're stretching the muscles on the outside of your hip and leg. The abductors, AB. Your breath is slow, deep, and even, Ujjayi, if you practice that. And then inhale back up. Take the straps in each hand and bring your knee toward your armpit. Keep your foot flat, pressing up against the strap. Strap is pushing down, knee toward the armpit. Half happy baby. Don't forget your left leg. Keep it lightly stretching out. And then straighten up your right leg. Take the strap off. Hug both knees into your chest. You can rock around on the sacrum. And we'll do that same sequence on the other side. So keep your left knee drawn into your chest. Stretch out your right leg. Press your left knee into your chest. Few breaths. Right leg is active. Left hip and knee in flexion. Option to bring knee toward nose, just a choice. Stay with your breath. Now take the strap and put it around the ball of your left foot. Stretch the left leg up, one end of the strap in each hand. Light pressure down, reaching your foot up toward the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, perhaps a little more flexion in the hip. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. Both hands of the strap in the left hand. Let your left leg come out toward the side. Notice difference in your left and right sides. Here you're stretching the adductors, the muscles on the inner thigh. Now inhale, left leg up, both ends of the strap in your right hand, and cross the left leg over your body, keeping both hips on the mat and noticing the stretch in the outside of your left hip and thigh and leg. Crossing the midline. There aren't many things that we do to cross the midline, and there are not that many yoga poses where adduction is the main movement. But today we're going to be doing some. Okay, then inhale that leg back up. One side of the strap in each hand. Take your left knee toward your left armpit. Press up against the strap, pull down against your foot. Half happy baby. Okay, now remove the strap from your foot, set it aside. Draw both knees into your chest. Hug them in, take any movement that feels good here. You might want to make some circles around your pelvis. You can raise your upper body up, nose to knees, anything, your choice. And now raise both legs up to the ceiling. Cross the right leg over the left, right in the middle here. So both legs are adducted here, ADD. Keeping that, also you're going to internally rotate. So your right toes are coming toward you, and your left toes are coming toward you. And then keep the right leg raised and internally rotated and adducted. And engage your core, lower back toward the floor. Slowly lower your left leg. So you're keeping the toes turned in. Lower and raise your left leg a few times. Also keep your right toes turned in. That leg is stationary, so you're just lowering and lifting your left leg, working your adductors on the inner thigh. And the next time you come up, pause, uncross your legs and cross them the other way. So left ankle over the right. Keep the toes turning toward you. And this time, lower the right leg and raise it. Keep your navel in and up, low back pressed toward the floor. Protect your low back. This works your core also. Okay, one more. And then hug both knees into your chest, squeeze them in, rock around. And now cross your right thigh over your left. Take a hold of your ankles or feet or shins, whatever you can reach on your feet. And gently draw your lower legs toward your body. So you'll notice here, both legs are adducted. Keep your feet flexed. Option here to raise up on an exhale, pull your belly in, nose toward knees. Just a choice. If that works for you today. Come back to your breath. Uncross your legs, reach up, stretch up for one breath, and then bend your knees, cross the left leg over the right. Take a hold of somewhere around your ankles, your feet, your shins, and draw the knees back in toward your chest. One more breath. Uncross your legs. Bring your feet to the mat with your knees bent. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out to the side. Do not force your legs down. Just gently press your feet together. Tuck your tailbone. So draw your navel, your lower back toward the mat. Just take some of that arch out of your low back. Press lightly into your feet. Arms can be overhead, anywhere really, or you can mirror your legs by bringing your elbows out, palms together. Few breaths in Gomukhasan. And now draw your knees together. You can cross your ankles. Draw your knees into your chest first. And then cross your ankles any way you want. Roll up and come around to an all-four foundation, tabletop. Set up with your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Press down into the mat with your hands. Take a little weight off your wrists by pressing a little more into the fleshy parts, the base of your fingers. Press through your knees, your tops of your feet. Lengthen out through the crown of your head and your tailbone. So just a neutral spine here. Lengthen. Exhale, round your back into cat, chin toward chest, tuck your tailbone. Move with your breath. Inhale, cow. Chest moves down, tailbone moves up. Just a few rounds of cat-cow, letting your breath initiate the movement, really mindfully moving, slow, mindful movement, flexion and extension of the spine. And then come back to neutral, pause. Come down onto your elbows just for a minute. Circle out your wrists. Then come back to all fours. You can always, don't mention this because I think you know it, but just a reminder that if your knees are sensitive, you can always put a folded mat or something under your knees to cushion it. And you can come onto your fists if your wrists are very sensitive. So we're going to do a 3-part vinyasa here. Inhale, take your right leg back parallel to the mat, flex your foot, reach out. Exhale, bring your knee toward your nose toward your knee. Inhale, extend the right leg again, flex the foot. Externally rotate and bring your right knee out towards your right elbow. Inhale, extend, point your toes, cross your right leg over the left and turn to look at your right foot. And we'll do that 2 more times on this side. Inhale, parallel, straight back. Exhale, knee toward nose, spinal flexion. Inhale, extension. Exhale, right knee toward elbow. Inhale, extend, point, cross it over. One more time. Move with your breath. Vinyasa. Now this time when your foot crosses over, pause there and take a couple breaths in this pose, this part of it. And then bring your right knee back. Stand on your knees for a minute, roll your wrists out. And come back to tabletop, and we'll do that sequence on the other side. Make sure your alignment's good. Foundation set. Inhale, left leg back, foot is flexed, reach out. Exhale, round your back, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, point. Exhale, crossover. Okay, 2 more times. Please move with your own breath. See if you can make the movements flow one into the other, just as your breath is flowing. Let your movements flow. And this time when the third time when your foot crosses over, pause for a few breaths, stretching the side body. And then come back to tabletop and let your hips go back into child's pose. Just sink into child's pose. Wide, narrow, head resting on your arms, a block, anything, any kind of support you need to be able to just release here for a few breaths. And come back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet a little bit if that feels good. And then walk your feet up to your hands. Come into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Knees bent a little or a lot. Let your head just hang, the weight of your upper body, lengthen out your back, any arms you want. And then on an inhale, best way for you, come all the way up to standing. Mountain pose. Start with your feet. Broaden your feet, lift and spread your toes, Pada Bandha. Press down into the four corners of your feet. Make a little muscle with your quadriceps. Tuck your tailbone, lift your hip points, lengthen through the side waist. Shoulders up and around and back and down. Externally rotate your arms. Spread your fingers. Hasta Bandha. Lift up through the crown of your head. Close your eyes if you have the balance. And once you've got the alignment, stability, move into ease. So let go of any effort not needed. Make sure your face, jaw, neck are relaxed. You can bring a little smile to your face. Slow, deep, even breaths. Reconnect. Okay, then open your eyes. Take your right foot, cross your right foot over your left. Try to have your feet right next to each other, toes as even as you can get them. Bend your right leg, and we'll do a forward bend here with our legs crossed. So start with your hands on your hips and start forward with a straight back. You can keep it at half forward bend, Ardha, or just come all the way down. Few breaths. This is a little balancy. And then inhale, come back up, uncross your legs, shake them out a little bit. Try that to the other side. So left leg crosses over right, left knee is bent a little bit. Square your hips toward the front, and then come forward into this version of I think this is some kind of a stretch runner stretch or something, I don't know. But your legs are adducted, crossing the midline. And then inhale, come back up, uncross your feet, shake out your legs. Now take a block and place it between your thighs. So gently squeezing the block, that activates your adductor muscles on the inner thighs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, set your hips back into chair, gentle pressure on the block. Inhale here. Exhale, arms out, goddess arms. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, right down to your heart space. A couple more times. Inhale, sit back into chair. Exhale, goddess arms. Inhale, hands meet. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, chair. Exhale. Ooh, open your chest here. Spread your fingers. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Chair. Very nice. Now keep the block because you're going to need it in a little bit. Come back to mountain pose. Just check in. Move in mindfully. Make sure everything's in good alignment. By now you might be getting the actual muscle memory of that, the feel. Take a few slow, deep, even breaths. Reconnect. Scan. See where you are. Remember your intention. And then open your eyes. Make sure you're in the top third of your mat. Stand with your feet shoulder distance apart. Those are separate. Your feet are separated. Pivot on your right heel. Turn your right toes out toward the upper corner of your mat and take a big step back. Bend your left knee over your left ankle. Come in and out a few times. Make sure your hips are squared toward the front edge of the mat. So squared toward the front. And just come in and out of your knee bend till you get the right stance. You want to make sure that the knee is right over the ankle. Okay, now just kind of bring your right hip forward a little bit. So the foundation of Warrior One, bring your hands, palms together at your heart space. So you're pressing into both feet. Your back leg is inward, the thigh is moving inward a little bit. Energetically move your thighs together. Inward rotation on the back leg. And then on an inhale, bring your hands out to goalpost or goddess. On an exhale, take your left arm under the right and bring your palms together if you can, or the backs of your hands. Or another option is just hands on your shoulders. So your version of Garudasan or eagle arms with Warrior One. You can raise your elbows up, making a little more of a back bend. Just going to take a few more breaths here. So stability through your foundation. It's a little bit of balance. And then unwind your arms, step your right foot up to meet the left, take a half sun salutation, any kind you want. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. So feet hip width apart, left toes turn out 45 degrees. Take a big step back. Square your hips. Bend and straighten your right leg a few times to find the right distance between your legs so that your right knee comes right over the right ankle. Press down into both feet. Bring your left hip forward, little internal rotation of the back leg. Hands to your heart. Inhale, goddess arms. Exhale, right arm under left. Your version of goddess arms. Find that Sthira Sukham, the stable through your foundation. No extra effort. Check in with your face. See if your face is relaxed. See if your breath can stay slow, deep, and even. Okay, then unwrap from that. Step your left foot up to meet your right. And we're going to just do a quick little balance walk. So start at toward the back of your mat. Hands can be on your hips or out to the side, however you want. So we're going to walk like we're on a line, on a tightrope. So you're going to place the right foot right in front of the left, left foot right in front of the right. Just simple, take a few steps like this. Have your drishti, because this is balance, so have something you're looking at that's not moving. Now put the left foot behind the right, right behind the left, and walk back. Now this time, if you want to add a little challenge, this is always, for me, a little harder than it looks, and that it should be. So this time, when the foot comes in front, so you can rise on your toes, come down, move the other foot in front, rise up. Just a little added exercise or challenge. When you get to the front of your mat, then you can do it backwards. Okay, then shake both legs out. And we're going to come to our goal pose, Garudasan Eagle. So we've prepped. We've done crossing our legs over each other. We've done crossing the arms. We're going to put those together. Garudasan is a balance pose, one-legged. So start, let's see. Hands can be on your hips or anywhere you want. So begin by letting the weight come into your left leg, bend your left knee, come onto your right toes. Cross your right leg over your left, your thigh. If you can hook your foot, your toes behind your left calf, go right ahead. I can not able to do that, so I'm just pressing my left foot against my right lower leg. I'm pressing my right foot against my left lower leg. So remember, your both knees are bent here. And then your right leg is on top, so your right arm is going to go underneath. Bind your arms or have them on your shoulders. And then you can inquire into bending your knees a little more and perhaps bringing your elbows toward your knees. These are all options. Or you can just find a place where you can have your soft gaze. Keep your breath. Settle into Eagle, Garudasan. We have some really beautiful big eagles up here. Okay, then come out, shake out your feet, legs, arms, anything that needs shaking. We'll try to the other side. So this time, bend your right knee. Bring your left thigh over your right. Now you might want to just put your toes on the mat here. But you can lift them. You can bind your lower legs. This time, since the left thigh's on top, the left arm goes under the right. You can add any flourishes that you want to today. If you come out, just get set up again. Come back in. And when you're ready, unwind, shake everything out. Turn to face the long edge of your mat and step your feet wide apart. Toes facing forward, hands on your hips. Fold forward from your hip creases, lengthen out through the crown of your head, long spine. Come down halfway first. Bring your hands to the mat or to the block. Might be able to bring your feet a little more out. And when you've gotten all the flexion in your hip that you can, go ahead and let your head come down to the mat. Wide leg forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. So a lot of the poses we've been doing have been adduction. This is abduction of your hips. So moving the legs away from the midline. Counter pose, balance, which is we do in yoga. We balance one thing with the other, with its opposite. So just hang down in wide leg forward bend, any arms so you want. You can hold your feet, your toes. You can have your arms up behind you, anything you want. Couple more deep breaths, even breaths. Now come up a little bit, walk your hands, keep your legs wide, walk your hands out in front for wide leg down dog. Let your chest move toward your thighs, press into your hands, lift your sit bones up toward the ceiling, sky, whatever. Make sure your neck is soft and just hanging. Roll your shoulder blades out. Now walk your hands back, heel toe your feet together and come down to all fours. Take your legs out to the side, come back onto your seat and lower yourself down to your back. Bend your knees, feet are hip width apart. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height. Inhale right here in the center. On an exhale, pull your belly in, let your knees go to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Windshield wipes. Modify your windshield wipes any way you want. Wide-legged, hip width, legs glued together. You can bring your neck into it. Just please move with your breath. Slow, mindful movements. It's kind of balancing out the hips. We've done a lot of adduction, crossing the midline. And now we're moving both adduction, abduction. And the next time your knees come back to center, pause. Take your feet out to the edge of your mat and let your knees fall toward each other. Now, if your knees don't meet, move your feet a little closer together, or if it's uncomfortable, find the place where your feet can be where it is comfortable. Make any adjustment. Take your arms, cross your arms and give yourself a hug. So right hand on left shoulder, left hand on right shoulder. You can pat your shoulders here, give yourself a little massage. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug, a little assurance, a little love. See if you can just release the adductors. So those are the, as you know now, the muscles on the inside of your thigh. Your thighs are supported, the knees are supporting. So you can just give those a little release. Change the cross of your arms. And then move into your position for Shavasana today. So, you know the ropes, symmetrical, least amount of effort, and comfortable. Cozy. You're not going to be cold. So you use an eye bag or weight on your abdomen, or rolled up blanket under your knees. Settle in for just a few minutes. Not asana, not pranayama, not meditation. This is just surrender. Surrender moment by moment, breath by breath. Awareness, full awareness without attachment to anything. Now bring your awareness back to the space and awaken your body, starting with just small movements, your fingers, your toes, maybe some little stretches. And bring your knees into your chest. Come over onto your side, cradling your head in your arms. Take a couple breaths inside child's pose. checking in, seeing where you are near the end of practice. Your body, your breath, your mind. And use your arms to bring yourself up to a seat. Keep your eyes closed. Hands can be resting comfortably in your lap or on your thighs. We're going to end practice where we began with B breath. And if you would like to count your breaths for the minute and compare to where you were in the beginning, that's up to you. But I'll tell you when to start, and you can choose how you do it. So inhale, start now. Light hum on the exhale till all your breath is gone. Okay, now release your B breath. Bring your hands, palms together, thumbs at your heart space. Lightly bow your chin. Bow to your efforts today for bringing yourself to yoga and giving yourself a whole hour for wellness in mind, body, and spirit. The light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each one of you. Namaste. Thanks for coming to yoga. I hope to see you back here next week. Have a great week.